Welcome back to a brand new clown shift, I guess you could say, to Space Station 14 on Wizden Lizard. I'm not gonna lie, this episode isn't gonna be the most productive one from memory. I was a little bit drunk and whatnot. I just came back from a party. I don't remember exactly how messed up I was, but I really was not in a very productive mood, to say the least. I was a little bit more rambunctious, as you would see. But luckily enough, though, Dante Hall, one of my favorite characters on this station, was randomly also a clown. So I decided to play with him because, well, he's a clown, and I wanted to work with other clowns. It's very rare to be given the opportunity to be given multiple clowns. But yeah, you know, we did some basic prank prep, just doing a little bit of tomfoolery here. Not like hurting anybody, of course, because again, we're not self-antagging as a true professional clown. But, yeah, no, we're doing our job. We're just trying to annoy people, get people a little bit like, what the hell, man? You know, just having a little bit of fun. But, you know, Dante Hall also didn't really have many plans. I wanted to make, like, invisible walls, not invisible walls, secret walls everywhere and whatnot, just having fun. And, of course, me forgetting the PDA could slip people as per usual. But I'm just going to let the recording play here, and something very interesting occurs for me, for my first time. Oh no. Oh no! I have to kill the captain? Oh no. As you can tell, we have been given a very different kind of joke. Luckily enough, though, we have someone who is actually with us. It turns out Billy Bob here is actually my coworker. There's a specific type of mission you can get as a player if you're a syndicate. Don't mind me, this is just me being stupid and drunk or hungover, whatever it was. I was literally asking if I'm able to give the captain with a remove head request because I literally took it as literal. I took it as you need to remove the captain's head for some reason. I don't know. It was really stupid. I thought it was funny, so I kept it. But Billy Bob here came up with a plan to just like straight up just be working with me 100%. So I decided to just go hollow. I'm not thinking grandeur plans here. I'm not trying to do anything spicy or fancy. I kind of want to speed run this as fast as humanly possible. So yeah, he's aware that I have to kill the captain. It's the only thing I have to do. And I have to extract, which is a lot harder than most people would say. Because to be extremely honest, surviving the captain's wrath is not a one-to-one process. The captain is the most well-equipped character in the game. He starts off with very powerful armor that doesn't really reduce his speed. He's given a recharging gun. He's given a sword. He's given a gas mask. All the options of cheap trickery is immediately thrown out the window if the captain is willing to power game for it, like wearing his gas mask everywhere he goes or whatnot, or just straight up with an entourage of security, because he can ask for that. But the plan is simple. I spend all my money on this guy because I'm actually going to try to put the heat on this character because I have to extract. I know that's a little bit diabolical to do. I'm doing my part though. I'm making it worth it for them. Okay, I bought them a holo. I bought them all that other stuff. Right, I made it cheaper for them. So I thought it was only fair if they could make my job easier, even though they are working with me, right? I'm not working with them. That's not my objective, but their objective is unironically to work with me. So I'm going to take a little bit to my advantage here. Yes, I try not to do stuff like that, but again, I wasn't really like at all in a thinking mood. I was just kind of basing off information he's saying, and I was just going to go with it. Was simple, very, very simple. But the prank tools that we have may actually come in handy. I collected some clean nades on this map, which always spawn on this map. I'm not going to give you an exact idea because it's one of my favorite things to do is steal the clean nades. But they spawn next to the janitor's room, right? I'll be nice. But the plan is a go. Very simple, minor disguise change. I don't even bother taking off my PDA. I'm just changing my backpack though, just to have a little bit of assistance with the disguise. But other than that though, it's just straight up a mime and clown gig joke. You know, it's very simple and it should get the job done. But other than that, let us see how the plan fulfills. as you could tell, the plan went out without a hitch, it seems. We were able to give the captain almost instantly. Due to recent changes, though, I would have to eat the brain. I didn't decide to remove his brain at the time because there wasn't really an incentive to, and it was super early into the round. I try not to round remove people permanently if I can. I fat finger the hollow parasite, as you're gonna see that a lot this episode. I was so disappointed at myself for it. But it is what it is. It happens to the best of us. But yeah, the job is done. The captain is gone. Billy Bob is nowhere to be seen, even though he was my coworker for this task. I decided to just split before things got bad because I didn't have I had my PDA on. So it's really easy for either the AI or somebody to just be like, yo, that's Ordalius, right? That's literally just him. The reason why I didn't remove the PDA is to reduce suspicion with the captain. The reason why the captain even spoke to us is because he assumed we were both the clown roles, right? The jobs that are supposed to provide entertainment. The character you just saw enter the room was in fact Billy Bob, and I only noticed it now because I was like, wait a minute, that looked a lot like Billy Bob. Funny thing is, he doesn't know it's me. So he drops his hollow, but thank God the hollow was talking. It was insane. I could have died there instantly. I could have been fucked. Oh my God. But I gave him the antique laser pistol because I'm a clown. Clowns can't use guns. It's just like a little nerf you get as playing the clown. It doesn't bother me. It's one of my favorite things, actually, is when a gun works. If you shoot a gun and you kill the guy, that's perfect. But he needs a disguise. So with my fuck up, again, that was a misclick. That was not intentional. I decided to do something. I basically corral the engineer down south. I made my fuck up, but I decided to make it into a power play as much as I can anyways. Even though it wasn't a good play, but it guarantees a very good disguise. And I'm just scouting the area right now. I noticed this road is blocked off by an anomaly. Perfect. No one is gonna come down here unless it's like a fucking janitor, because that road is very important for science and very important for cargo. But it's blocked off, so hell yeah, we're basically in the clear for people just wandering and stepping upon our murder here. But yeah, we're just getting a basic disguise, gathering some equipment, seeing if there's anything worth it here. I stole the RCD just because we don't want to forget about it, but he wants it, so I give it back to him, of course, because, well, he's the big brain man of this run. Thank you, Billy Bob, if you're watching this video. You actually made this my first captain job, and by the way, within 300 hours. That was my first captain mission. I have 600 hours in total playtime, and that was the only one I ever received. It's the only captain job I've ever received. Insane. Absolutely diabolical. But I decided to do a stupid strategy, because again, I'm not really thinking about like efficiency here. I'm thinking about more like a wacky kind of like chaotic round. I decided to go back to my original disguise, reading the chat log to see if anybody has real information. Finally, the station goes red for some reason. I guess like the head of security decided it, or the AI, because everyone was a little bit caught off guard by how quickly the captain was killed. So I'm just trying to blend in, just trying to make myself look like the good guy here. Sorry about that, a little bit of a cough came out of nowhere, but can't have anything in these recordings, right? But yeah, just a bit of time waste here and whatnot, just trying to really soak in information, right? Nobody's attacking me, which is a really good sign. A thing about low RP, the reason why I prefer it is that people aren't bitches, all right? People aren't just gonna walk away if something bad's going down. Yes, I know that's not realistic. I know most people would be running away from a gunfight, but it makes things way more interesting. Okay, having people chase me with a guitar or a fucking trumpet and trying to stop me instead of just, oh my god, I'm so scared, like an MRP. Ignore my banter. I just hate MRP. I hate heavy RP. I think they're over the top for a video game. Anyways, but again, I'm not judging the people who play them. There's people who play that stuff for a reason, but this is the reason why I prefer LRP. It's more action-packed. It's less about the game, less about the RP, more about the game. A little bit of RP here and there, but that's the reason why it's light RP. But yeah, I just made sure I did the objective right. I was just an idiot, as per usual. I literally took it as word for word. Remove the captain's head, which thankfully you don't have to. But yeah, just someone just shooting foam darts. It actually scares me for a second. I also did not know at the time the PK gun actually doesn't damage you. so it kind of makes me a little bit finicky, but people are now finally suspicious of the clowns. To be extremely honest, the fact they don't even know it's exactly me is very good. They have no idea it's actually me who did the killing, which is huge. So I'm in the clear for the most important part of that entire, like, scenario. Because I didn't take off my PD. I was still Ordalius Cromwell while murdering the captain. Right? I could have used an agent card, I could have used anything for that. But it's, as you could tell, the suspicion, the anxiety, and of course, like, the stress of the crew is peaked. And I'm just trying to blend in, I'm just trying to be a chaotic, like, oh, this is perfect for attention, I'm just trying to make it look like I'm taking advantage of a situation to prank. Even though it's red, I won't prank normally if I was a non-anti-clown, that is. But as it is an absolute shit show. They're trying to figure out information. They have nothing, right? I would have been arrested already if they knew. I would have been shot at already if they knew. Because I actually killed the captain. They have a full reason to KOS anybody if they know it's the target, right? Absolutely. Absolutely fair, okay? But they didn't. So I am immediately a lot more confident in my situation of getting out of this alive, and of course without any bad issues. So I'm just fucking with this salve. No, he's shooting at me with this gun and whatnot. But yeah, they actually got nothing. They actually have nothing, shockingly. Sadly, Dante was lobbed in on this, which is what I took advantage of, actually, because if they don't know it's the clown, that's also why I disguised as the clown, because I thought it would be funny to get both clowns and shit. And as you can tell, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. But something very interesting happens here in this situation that comes up anyways. You know, we got a moth roach joining the fray. Maybe it's even the captain, we don't know. That's the one thing about that stuff I like. It's always the spectators. You know, maybe it's the captain, a little bit metagaming, but not in a negative sense, just in a more of a banter sense. You know, so I don't mind if people go mice and stuff to check out what happened to their body and whatnot. I think it's funny, anyways, because you're a mouse. You're not like telling people that, oh my god, he's the guy who killed me. You know, no. But as you can tell, they're starting to get really like, ah, fuck, we really need to like figure out information now, because like they're just fucking with us, or the guy who's actually did it is just getting. Killed both of them, by the way. This is the detective talking. Just keep this in mind. This is the detective talking. But yeah, so we're in the clear. Nothing really is going on. But yeah, I was blown away by that. Even my hollow parasite was like, what the fuck? That is a valid hunt, what you just saw there. A big one, actually. Like, a massive valid hunt. Alright, there was not enough evidence that they could not gather to find me. And they're killing the other clown first. You can't make this shit up. I just knocked my cat off my table. Ignore that sound. But it's just that funny to me. Okay, it is just that funny. But yeah, I sadly have to do the dick move of telling my hollow parasite not to speak anymore. But let's admit it, they're clearly valid hunting me. Okay, that is just the reality of the situation. It is a heavy-handed valid hunt. But thankfully, something very interesting happens with the clean nade that I gathered, and I'll just let it play out. I couldn't fucking believe it. The reason why that worked out at the way it did is because I wasn't actually dead. I was critted. I tried to mitigate as much damage done to me as possible here, and it worked out. The reason why they had no idea that I didn't have a hollow was because when the hollow crits, I don't know if you heard the sound, but it sounds eerily similar to a clean nade. And that was my plan. That was my play, actually, for that situation, was to blend the sound of the hollow parasite entering critical when I use a clean nade. And it worked! Holy crap, it actually worked! So, with that being settled as it is, we have now been officially cleared on top of a valid hunt deflection, on top of a non-contraband play, dude. It was so sick. I wouldn't even be surprised in this video if clean nades become contraband. Like not like serious contraband, like a warning contraband. And if you have the clean nades again, you get arrested for like 2 minutes for petty thievery or something. I guarantee that's exactly what's gonna happen, because that shit saved my. Don't worry about it. It's just blood loss, knocking me out. Luckily enough, there was nobody there really paying attention to hear the hollow parasite enter crit again. But I wasn't trying to be too active. I didn't want to seem like I was prepared to heal myself, right? Because also it's more of a meta thing, but if you're like straight up injecting yourself with needles, drinking medicine, popping bandages, they're gonna know something's up. They're gonna know you were ready for this situation, right? So I try to lower the amount of medical gear that I have as much as humanly possible so I don't have that happen. And it works! We are now clear. I even keep that in mind. Clean nades are key for hollow runs, dude. And also, for those who are like, trying to give the detective shit or give him like beef or whatever, don't. It's a video game, and honestly that only fed my ego, so I can't complain. And it turns out the guy was supposedly, I wasn't there for it, and also I didn't even help it because I thought he had grounds to actually shoot me. I thought maybe he knew something that I didn't, right? There's a lot of ambiguity in that situation that I decided not to act on because A, it's a video game, and B, we all make mistakes. Sometimes it's just too much for us, right? We're human. But he was supposedly banned for 3 days. The janitor here I was just hoping to be friends with, just so it makes me look even less evil, but another clown set them on fire? Whatever, right? Whatever. But yeah, again, the guy was supposedly banned for 3 days, so don't give him a shit. He served his dues. That's what he told me himself. But it is what it is. Again, you know, and it made the play look sick. Okay, I can't even complain. So yeah, we're just blending in. We bump back into Billy Bob. I didn't know this was Billy Bob for a moment until he mentions it, and I'm like, hey, yeah, we killed Captain. And I'm like, wait, it's you. Yeah, we killed Captain. I love that, by the way, when I bump into people fucking that actually did the job with you. So yeah, I'm trying to explain to him that the heat is way too high for me. We just killed the captain like big time in front of everybody, and I was shot at. So I'm just trying to take it a little bit easy. I fuck with Sec mostly, just a lot of pranking here and there, nothing serious, but it works. You know, Billy Bob is able to do his work and whatnot in the background. I obviously wasn't there because I'm just trying to get the hell out of this station. Okay, I was valid hunted massively. I was fucking shot, I was almost killed, you know, I'm just blending in. I'm lowering my suspicion as much as I can at this point, with due reason, okay? There's a reason, because we do have to extract. It's not super easy to just like, I mean, it's super easy just to kill the captain, blow yourself up if it's a die a glorious death. But if it's an extract mission, all right, dude, you gotta get the fuck out of here, right? And I'm also not planning on killing anybody else after this. I did my job. Again, I'm just gonna be messing around with whatever I find that's contraband, and that's it. But it turns out Nukies have shown up as well. Okay, we don't. I don't know exactly if it's just a group of syndicates going in with red blood reds or whatnot, but supposedly there's Nukies on the entire station, which really fucks things over massively. And I'm just trying to help Billy Bob here find the reporter. I actually never found the reporter once this round. I don't know, maybe the reporter was a syndicate or whatnot, but I never saw them once. Maybe they died in space, or if they were hiding in space, or if they were a thief or something. I don't really remember the round information too much. But yeah, we're just making an EVA suit because, well, if it's Nukies, well, I'm not risking my life in space, okay? That's usually how I die in space. It sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, just gathering a few supplies here and there. Not really thinking of much else to do. I'm giving Pun the emergency EVA suit because that also makes me look less suspicious as a clown. That's just a normal clown joke. Let's be fair. Very, very mild in terms of law breaking. That's another thing I like about LRP. Less bullshit. Okay, for literal stupid reasons. Yes, stealing the EVA suits are illegal, but it is what it is. Also, Billy Bob comes back. I'm lucky enough to see him in an EVA suit, but yeah, supposedly he was a Paradox clone after him. I assume in this moment that the Paradox clone won, in my opinion, because he's talking in a manner like the way he speaks to me. It comes up to me in a manner that I'm unaware of, right? Like it's almost like he's reintroducing himself. He's asking if we fight or we leave. I'm like, oh, we're just leaving, right? So I'm just trying to blend in as a good guy for him, and I'm just gonna pretend nothing is wrong. But I'm fully aware this guy is a Paradox. I felt it in my bones, and it was. This is actually his Paradox talking. But he does a really good job at fitting in. But the reason why I knew because he wasn't laughing as much. Little habits you pick up on people if you play with them often enough. Yeah, it's metagame, but it's the whole point of Paradox Clone is actually using meta information to solve the problem. Because, oh, I talked to this guy more. What do you know, right? So that, yeah, I'm aware it's a Paradox Clone, so I steer clear from him as much as I can for the rest of the game. But finally, we are on evac. But a few interesting things happen on evac, as per usual. You can never just have a captain job gone so easy, right? So it turns out a few friends come to evac as shit boils down. But we're just going to be talking here. There really isn't much else to really negotiate. I'm just going to mention thank you for watching and whatnot. As you can tell, we are hidden very, very well in plain sight, and our suspicion has been removed. We have no contraband, except for the Bible that I took. I don't remember why I took the Bible. Again, I was hungover as all hell, so I probably just took it because it was funny. But yes, this is it. We have gotten away with a captain kill. I was so proud of myself for doing this. And I was incredibly inebriated or recovering from inebriation in real life. So I feel like that went as good as it could be for me. But it turns out dragons show up on evac. But yeah, we're hidden. Again, that's another benefit about the wall lockers is that dragons don't really know how to take them apart. So it's an absolute shit fest out there. I'm just letting it happen. I don't care. We did our objectives. Even my hollow parasite lived. It is what it is. Right. Holy moly. Surviving a valid hunt, surviving with non-contraband, well, except for the hollow parasite, but they didn't know I had that, right? It's implanted. But yeah, so it seems things are either getting fixed up or it's still an absolute shit show. I don't know, the screen's still shaking with explosions. I'm assuming it's still bad out there. So I just never leave this locker. But yeah, I was really proud of myself for this. I've never gotten a captain job. I've always wanted to receive the captain task. I think that's it was the most fun I've ever had doing a specific task for the Syndicate. But yeah, again, just an absolute shit fest. Oh my god. I was really surprised though that the captain didn't actually have an entourage with him though. Usually the captain has people following him. Normally, even when I was a captain, well, not like spawned in as a captain, I was promoted to a captain as a clown once, and I was able to ask people to follow me. It was crazy how much power you have. You could do anything. Kill this guy. All right, sure, it might not be the best order, but it's an order indeed from the captain. So the fact that the captain was alone at that quickly on into the round was really good. And it turns out somebody was fucking with the head of security, and security as a Grey Tider. So they were dealing with the Grey Tider as I murdered the captain. So it was perfect timing. Of course, that's not intentional. That was not intentional. But that's the reason why you got to do your jobs fast. All right, when people sit there for an hour, waiting for the perfect moment, ain't shit gonna happen. All right, I promise you, ain't shit. You ain't never gonna green text if you wait. The faster you act, the less people are prepared for action. The longer you wait, the more people can calm down, get comfortable, and the most terrifying thing, become bored. And there's nothing more terrifying in a video game that people can fight you in is if they're bored. Okay? If they're bored, they will tide you. They will beat you with fucking air tanks, toolboxes, wrenches, you name it. But if you get them right at the gate when all their jobs are very important and they have to do their job, well, you buy yourself the perfect slip-in opportunity to just get it done, even at the extreme cost of people being suspicious, right? Suspicion doesn't mean capture. It means you're suspicious. But if you don't do anything suspicious, well, ain't that a shame, right? Nobody can act upon that. That's the beautiful thing about space law, is that when you're a criminal, you're a step ahead. When you're an officer, you gotta follow the laws, and the laws state you gotta wait for certain things to happen before you can act, right? You gotta use that to your advantage, and I promise you, you will get this stuff done as fast as possible, and you'll start green texting way more. And I'm not even good at this game. All right, I'm a fucking idiot. I fat fingered a hollow parasite like 3 times. Come on, you know, like I'm not good at the game, but I'm telling you, if you want like little bits of tips and info, act fast, act bold, and best of all, have fun. Right? It's a game. But yeah, other than that though, that was the end of this incredible prank on Syndicate. Oh man, I had so much fun doing this shit. A little bit of a boring way to extract, but yes, the whole place is smashed by a dragon. I'm not risking it, and I'm not dying for it. So yeah, there is our well-earned Captain Green text. Very much well-earned in my opinion. That was an insane Valent hunt. It was an insane non-contraband play, and I wouldn't even be surprised if they made clean nades like the lowest level of Contra. And yeah, Billy Bob was in fact a clone who killed his clone. I had a feeling it was, like I knew it was at the time, but that was like, oh, okay, I was right, he was a clone, right? A shame that he couldn't get away with it, but other than that, I will see you all next time on Lizard, Space Station 14.